New genealogy resources in Orange Mound are making it easier for Memphians to trace their ancestries. But come prepared, because the real work starts at home. Kim Clark and her brothers are starting their journey, part of a growing group of Black Americans looking for new ways to uncover their roots.
These photos tell the story of the Clark family, from great-grandparents to holiday and family gatherings, and some of the cherished moments in between.
They say you are a product of 7 generations. So who we are right now, we are a product of 7 generations. And our existence now, we will impact 7 generations downstream.
My brothers, Ed and Mike, both West Point grads and career servicemen, visited their little sis at work recently to begin a journey into the past. Our dad was in the service too, so growing up in a military household, we often deployed with our father to places far from extended family.
And we'd come down to Georgia off and on, right. And when we came, every time we came, there were new people that were relatives.
New relatives whose backgrounds we're now trying to trace. My family is part of a growing trend of Black Americans embarking on genealogical journeys. And fortunately,
the very bottom, there it is. See, Edward Clark, 43 years old. Right.
People like Teresa Hill Mays are there to help.
My passion for genealogy evidently started when I was a little girl, asking all kinds of questions, because as a little girl, I was always sitting in grown people's conversations.
Mays is not only president of the Afro-American Genealogy Society, but also an advisory board member for the Orange Mound Library's genealogy department, home to a treasure trove of artifacts for ancestry hunters housed inside the historic Melrose High School.
You have to be very patient, because some things don't pop up right away. And with us African Americans, your documents are not necessarily the same. You don't have all the tax records and the property records and stuff. In 1870, that is the first recording of African Americans after the Civil War. Prior to that, they had to be free to be listed with names. You were only in there as tick marks. We were just, they had 50 people, a man 76, a woman 40.
Develop you a list of commonly misspelled names.
Mays teaches classes on how to navigate those records. We joined her for a lesson at the Orange Mound Community Center, where she said the journey starts with what she calls the gathering.
You find things like obituaries, you find birth records, marriage records, you find old letters, you find postcards, anything that will take you back in your family's history. You also sit down and write stories down that you were told, because sometimes they're based on truth.
That includes stories about friends and visitors throughout the years.
When you're searching, make sure you check for those people, because they came for a reason. Maybe it wasn't just because they were friends, it could have been family. You want to try everything that you can bring together to launch your search.
Once the gathering is complete, you're ready to start your search, and Memphis Public Libraries are ready to help. Skylar Gambert is the librarian in Orange Mound.
One of the most powerful resources we have is free access to Ancestry.com's records. Normally you have to pay for those, and that can be cost prohibitive for people.
There's also a vast records collection, photo and cemetery archives, and new virtual funeral program directory. All the tools you need to overcome obstacles inherent specifically to African Americans in the quest for ancestry answers.
The sad part, you talk about New York and Staten Island and all that, and people come in there and their names they can trace back there. We're not there.
We're not there.
My brothers and I are excited to see where our journey takes us.
I'm thankful that we've started now, while we still got some of those relatives around that are older than we are, and we can ask them some of the questions that what they remember. And it's important to capture it now so that it can be shared with grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
In Orange Mound,
1892, wow.
I'm Kim Clark.
The library's primary genealogy collection is located on the 4th floor of the History Department at the Benjamin Hooks Central Library, 3030 Poplar. To learn more and access the library's digital resources, click on the link with this story at actionnews5.com. And Ron Childers and I have known for some years